GeekZip cave in Huntington, West Virginia.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
Comic books, superheroes, sci-fi, music, wrestling.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
Welcome to the GeekZip podcast.
We are tonight's entertainment.
It's the GeekZip podcast. I am Ryan Zip, Christian Lewis here with you. Thank you for joining us for another exciting edition. Lots of stuff, Christian.
Yeah.
To get into today. And we also have our special guest coming up later. We'll be speaking with Marlene Sharp. She is the executive producer, head of creative development for Pink Poodle Productions. She's also a former producer for TV series at Sega of America and worked on Sonic Boom. So we're going to be talking about Sonic with her, Christian. Are you excited about that?
Talk as fast as you can because it's Sonic Go Fast, and this episode is stuffed to the gills with all kinds of stuff that's busting out.
Okay, let's get right into it. First of all, sadly, we have to cover some sad news.
Gosh, you made me think more people died just now pulling that down.
Sorry. In all seriousness, all of my fellow geeks out there, we have lost some iconic people in the last week. First was Mr. William Hurt. Christian, you remember William Hurt? Yeah. You remember him for real?
Yeah,
he's from The Village and
from some movies.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of great movies.
He's being accused of some bad behavior, I think.
Oh, is he one of those?
From somebody.
Well, he still made great movies, so
yeah,
fuck
that's
it.
true. That's true.
The next one, and this
he was kind of old though too, wasn't he?
He was older. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's kind of the same age as like Kevin Costner.
Huh.
So he's up there, but I mean, he's still
not quite that
incredible.
old.
Not like. Yeah, no, he's not that old. But anyway,
not like 90s.
No, he's not like in his hundreds.
Well, he always played old-looking people.
Adults?
Yes, I'm biased. You shouldn't
so
play
you're mad he didn't play children more? Is that what it is?
Yeah, dude, like that one time Martin Short played Clifford.
He was. I think William Hurt was the only good thing about The Village, honestly.
The costume was kind of interesting.
What, the
monster design? The monster design?
No.
What, you're like giant human porcupine thing?
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Stupid.
Porcupine with a red cape is what it was. It was the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life.
It sounds like a Disney creation or something, dude.
I wouldn't even give Disney the credit for it. I mean, it was. We're not going to get into it. The next one that was a huge blow was Scott Hall. Of course, you know Scott Hall from
this one
WCW.
I'm very familiar
that hurt.
with.
Yeah, I know you know him. WCW,
he was one of my
WWE,
favorites back
Razor
in the day.
Ramon, the bad guy. Say hello to the bad guy.
I knew him with the Outsiders.
You were the Outsiders
when he was
Wolfpack.
Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Even though it's a shame they made fun of him. Not made fun of him, but used alcoholism as a gimmick.
Yes.
But we thought it was funny back in the day.
Sure.
But now it's not so funny.
Now it's not so funny because God, poor guy had like 3 heart attacks in a row. I know he was on life support, and they eventually.
Did you read about Triple H retiring?
Yes,
all the stuff he went through.
I forgot to put that in there. Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing about H. He'd really kind of backed out anyway.
Well, I know, but I meant the health scare stuff.
Oh yeah,
really.
no, I saw what happened.
Yeah.
He was almost there too, for sure. So I mean, these guys, I think as they get older. Especially this newer generation of talent who, not saying they're pussies, but they're not quite as grizzled as some of the older wrestlers.
They have more time off, I think. It's
perhaps,
not quite as driving.
Exactly.
Schedule,
it's like,
maybe.
well, that's my life, so it's fine. And I think that's smart for H. He's got a family and he's got a job.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially after like a health scare like that. It's
he gave us some great matches. Chris, I mean, Triple H was my favorite wrestler in the Attitude Era.
Your favorite.
And
still is. Mostly.
Still is. I always root for him when he wrestles at WrestleMania and so forth, and I will miss that for sure. But I think Triple H's best matches were behind him anyway. And I hope that WWE gets their shit together and actually starts utilizing him more and his ideas more, and maybe we get a better product.
But Scott Hall was kind of sick too.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And this next one on your list is a big surprise.
This hit us, and as we record this hit us last night.
I saw it this morning.
I saw it.
Because I go to bed early.
Yeah, well, you're old lady. So
I was up at 5 a.m., young sir.
I was up. I was dicking around. I was actually watching the new Halo series because we're going to have to talk about that.
Nah, I don't have Paramount Plus.
You didn't watch Halo? Of course you didn't. What am I expecting?
Well, I thought about getting it to watch the Jackass movie, but like I said, right now I don't have Paramount Plus.
I'll have to give you my access. Fair enough. And my girl actually got the text and says, you know, the drummer from the Foo Fighters. And I said, yeah. You know, and she's like, he just died. And
it's like, aren't they currently on tour?
Aren't
they supposed to be on stage in an hour?
I kind of stopped, like, in my tracks and kind of doubled over on a dining room chair and kind of looked at the ground, because this guy, I was a drummer in high school, right? So this guy here, I mean, he was a huge influence on me and the way I play, the way I set my kit up. And don't even get me started on the music that he's made with Dave and the Foo Fighters. So
yeah, the Foo Fighters and the Chili Peppers are some of the biggest bands we've listened to.
I mean, that's like
most influential.
That's
bands.
Our Led Zeppelin, man. And I mean, it's like that's our generation's great band. And what a fucking blow! I can't even imagine Dave right now.
Yeah, our hearts go out to the band
God,
and the
I
families.
can't even imagine. Not sure what the circumstances were. You know, you always hope it's not the classic rock star tragedy, but you know, we don't know. As we record, we don't know. Now we will keep everybody updated as we go.
I don't know.
What?
If I don't know, just respect their privacy at this time.
No, I'm saying, but I mean, when
Yeah.
it's release of how he passed, you know, I would want to know that. You
I
want to know that?
I don't know. It's a hard thing to decide.
It's hard, you know, because
you want to know, but you don't want to.
you do.
Intrude.
It's like almost not wanting to know. And I know me and you've seen them once. Have you? How many times? I saw them 3 times.
I'm not sure. At least 2 or 3.
You've seen them a couple of times too, right? And I mean, just every time, just so much energy and love and a big smile. And I loved it when they let him sing. He had an amazing voice. He was the backing vocals for Dave fucking Grohl.
He go big drum solos.
Oh, huge drum solos on a simple kit too. I mean, it's not like he had a big complicated kit, you know. And a protege of Neil Peart, knew him very well and worked with him. I'm telling you, I was a huge Taylor fan. I'm hurt. I cried. I mean, it was a hard one. So, from the GeekZip podcast, all our listeners, all our followers, our hearts go out to all those individuals and their families. Okay, I'm tired of being fucking sad. Let's get into the news. Have you heard about Bret Hart?
Yeah.
Have you heard this?
I kind of heard people talking about
There's
it.
rumblings. I guess FTR, they fired Tully Blanchard as their manager in AEW.
Are they Canadian?
FTR is, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't know
either. I don't think so.
I can't. I don't think they are.
Hard telling.
I don't think they are. Dax, I think, is like from Texas somewhere. I don't know. I'll have to find out.
So there's not going to be like a Canadian connection.
I mean, I don't think. I think they're going for him more as the iconic wrestler manager, kind of like Tully was.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
And
Sting
there's a lot of shots of them together. And Dax, as you can see on our screen, Christian, he tweeted, Bret, you busy after they let Tully Blanchard go. So maybe we'll see Bret in AEW.
You know, we got a picture of Hawkeye on the wall at the pediatric office.
Like Jeremy Renner Hawkeye, or like the comic book Hawkeye?
Well, I don't know. He's wearing like Bret Hart glasses though.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny.
Weird pink mirrored glasses?
Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
It's a weird Hawkeye I've never seen before wearing Bret Hart's socks.
So
Bret Hawkeye.
Bret Hawkeye. Bret Hart comes out with a bow.
We're going to try this gimmick.
We'll shoot arrows into the crowd.
Oh, gosh. There was that one guy. Why was that the Damian Priest when they were calling him an archer?
Yeah, I remember.
I never understood that.
I didn't understand.
The Archer of Infamy or something.
Yeah,
it's like...
Because he did the Red Arrow, right? Isn't that why? You did the Red Arrow? That was the name of his movie?
I guess that would make sense. If my move is, if I'm going to hit you with the arrow, I'm an archer. Or are you a bow? I don't know.
Where the fuck is this conversation come from?
That's wrestling, dude.
Oh. So, with all the success of Spider-Man No Way Home and the great job that Willem Dafoe did with Green Goblin,
I didn't see this one.
They're discussing the possibility of a new Green Goblin, and out of a viral video, some guy did an impression of Matthew McConaughey as the Green Goblin. And that's now gone viral.
Sure.
And people are saying,
does he do a good job as McConaughey?
I have not watched the impression, to be quite honest with you. Here, I'll see if I can play
I don't
it.
want to see it.
You don't want to hear it?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I think it'd be funny to hear
All right,
it.
let's watch it. If you see it here.
If it's on here.
I watched I saw that 14-year-old fall out of that amusement park ride at the Icon Park.
You watch fucked up shit. So.
Dude, it was crazy how cell phones have stuff like that, camera phones.
I guess you're right.
Well, it helps with the legal case.
So here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Matthew McConaughey was the Green Goblin.
He's kind of English.
Now, I don't know if this has been done before, but,
I was getting ready to say that wasn't it. He hadn't started yet.
To me. I started this company, man. See that name on the sign? Oscorp? There ain't no Oscorp without Norman Osborn, baby. Spider-Man, you really pissed me off. So me and my little glider, we're going to take Mary Jane on a nice little date. And I'm going to take it nice and slow, baby. Now, little Peter Parker, I've been like a father to you, man. Be a son to me now.
I can't.
Godspeed, Spider-Man. I love this daily view,
man.
It's
not quite intense enough. I mean, I can see why it's viral.
That's why it's so funny.
Well, it's funny, but it's not like a serious thing. I thought you meant that they really wanted McConaughey to play him. Like, I could see McConaughey going all nuts and being... Except it wouldn't be like that impression. It'd be like him just staring off into space and going, Spider-Man.
God, that was hilarious. That is Twitter user at BenKern6, old Ben Kernobi.
Old Ben Kernobi.
Old Ben Kernobi that did that impression.
Good for him.
It was a really good one. Good job there, Ben. So anyway, that was a nice little pull up there. So Matthew McConaughey is a Green Goblin. I'd watch it.
For the laughs.
For the laughs. I saw this article pop up.
And you love this one.
God,
I love it too.
It.
I love it too, but
it's
I haven't even seen.
Movie.
I haven't even
you
seen.
You have to watch the director's cut.
I haven't even seen that one, and I still love it though.
I have it at my house. You can watch it. It's on DVD.
I don't need to watch it. I love the original.
And
I want to watch it at some point, but I just
the problem is that you had fucking Spider-Man like a year before it. So everybody compared it to Spider-Man, and he's a lot like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Fuck. Daredevil. Ben Affleck's Daredevil is what we're talking about. We haven't even said what movie we're talking about.
Yeah.
But that's how passionate I am about it, because it was a damn good movie, and Daredevil's a great character. I love what Charlie Cox is doing. I'm not trying to take anything away from what he's doing.
No. Yeah.
But that was a fucking good movie, and they spent a lot of money on it.
Dude, I think it's definitely underrated.
Now the Colin Farrell bullseye shit.
I like that.
That was dumb. That was dumb. That was so fucking dumb.
My opinion doesn't matter because it's dumb. But I like Colin Farrell. He just throws things, dude. I mean, his Irish was a little over the top.
A little over the top. I love that.
That's what you get. At least it wasn't like Batman Forever over the top levels.
Oh well. Daredevil, I don't understand. It was such a good movie, and it had a great cast, and the story was good. It was faithful to the comics. It was directed by fucking Jon Favreau.
It had huge standees and huge banners.
Dude, it was
remember
marketed
the banners
to the moon.
For each character?
Yes, I remember.
Huge.
Oh, yeah, posters for each. I have a poster laying around here of the movie somewhere.
There was Kingpin, Elektra, Bullseye, Daredevil. They all had their character banners.
Such bullshit. You need to give that movie another watch because it's worth it. It's a good movie.
Don't write it off. It's not.
Don't write it off. Exactly.
It's not like Jonah Hex.
Watch the.
I still haven't watched it, but you tell me not to.
Don't. Just watch the director's cut. You'll thank me. It's a much better movie, a completely different story, and it makes sense. God, get me worked up. Next headline, we've got the Addams Family animated Netflix series.
Is it animated? Are you sure it's animated?
Ricci. Yeah, it's like a computer animated.
What?
Yeah, it's like
like the movies?
Like the new movie. Yeah,
okay.
It's like going to be like the movies. We haven't seen anything on it yet in terms of images, but I assume that's what they say it's going to be.
Well,
like.
I don't see the word animated. Of course, I can't hit Control F to search for it, but.
Oh my God! Here we go.
You don't have to. Are we settling this? Okay.
We're going to settle it.
Is it animated or not? Addams Family, animated Wednesday series.
Is that what the headline says?
Not right there. Does it?
It is not a real show. She voices. She's going to
Where
voice
does it say it? Where does it say she'll voice it? Voice it. See, it says she'll be playing it.
Maybe you're right.
I don't know.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it is a show.
Whoa. It's got psychic.
It's a total show.
She got psychic powers.
So yeah, does she have psychic? What? Oh my! Wait.
And Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it, dude.
Wow, we're reading it. Holy shit!
And Louise Guzman
as Morticia. I mean, she doesn't do anything for fucking 20 years, and then she comes back as Morticia Addams.
I'm just thinking of the Workaholic song. And Gwendolyn Christie. This has to be voices. This can't be a real show.
Right? That's why I think it's an animated show.
But we still can't find the answer.
I know, there's no answer. I'm going to have to Google it right now. All right, Addams Family Show animated.
Wednesday. It's called Wednesday.
Oh. Yeah, see?
Okay, good.
There.
We figured it out.
But now it says a new live action series. So what the hell?
Where does it say animated?
Right there. I mean, does that not look animated to you?
I don't know. Maybe it's like puppets, live action
can't fucking
puppets.
see. So I don't know why I'm doing this.
I guess we'll have to wait till it comes out.
Yeah, if anybody knows, tell us, because we don't fucking know, apparently.
Settle it.
God,
Show us all how dumb Zip is.
We suck. You don't know either.
You can't figure it out.
You fucking bastard. All right.
I saw this. I did see this one.
So this is the Kevin Owens
bald cap Stone Cold impersonation.
Dude, when I saw that picture of him, you have to see the picture of the headline. That's what makes it so funny. Kevin Owens is going. Look, here it is again.
What's he down here? Say, who's your daddy, Chicago?
Some sort of physical confrontation is expected at WrestleMania. Not
it's
a match.
Headlining. Did you hear it was headlining?
This is headlining it?
That's what I heard was headlining one of the nights, dude.
So I guess he came out to Stone Cold's music.
Not once.
Had a bald cap on and
tricked the fans because they thought it was Austin.
So,
when you hear that glass break, you stand up.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure.
And then he trolled him again, dude. He played it again.
I think it says in here what he quoted.
Well, I'm telling you, he played the music twice. He trolled the audience twice.
Oh, he did it twice in the show?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, it's gonna really be Austin this time. Can't get us this time."
Wow. So they're doing everything they can possible to build this up.
Well, if it's going to headline, who knows?
Fuck, dude, Christian.
No, I mean, I don't. Who knows?
He's going to stun his ass, and that's going to be the end of it.
Yes, I know that, but I meant the build-up. Of course, they're going to be building it up if it's going to headline.
Anyway, we'll have to see what happens here. Moving on, we have. Did you see this link I sent you about this new 4v1 Ghostbusters game where you can actually be ghosts?
It's cool how it's like in canon.
Yeah. It says not like. Yeah, I guess you could be the characters if you want.
Well, it says it takes place after the spirits or the movie, whatever, Afterlife. That's what the movie was called.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's the name of this game, Spirits Unleashed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I'm not sure though. It's it's one that I think would be good with friends because it's an asymmetrical.
Well, yeah.
I've never really played the asymmetrical multiplayer.
You're not
game.
a big shooter.
Well, that's what I'm getting ready to go home and play right now. It's Tiny Tina's Wonderland shooter.
Yeah.
But like I said, you got to have...
But you've always been more of an RPG guy.
Well, that's because, playing shooters, you used to get too mad, so I didn't like to play
You do get mad at shooters, especially when you play those goddamn Call of Duty games.
GoldenEye was what really would make you mad.
GoldenEye made
somebody
me
getting
furious.
all the body armor and just killing you. Why are you on the spawn point?
Oh. Anyway, I mean, we have to take a minute to calm down just even talking about GoldenEye.
I kind of quit playing them for a while.
I
didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Sony has released some screenshots. But
like I said, you know what asymmetrical multiplayer is, right?
That's like third person?
No. Well, it's like 4 on one team versus 1 on their own.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's how, like, they have other games like
But the
that,
one
too.
is more powerful, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, that's how those horror games are, where somebody's like the monster
Yeah,
killer
that's
or
how,
whatever.
what's that one I play,
How was that? Did you like that one?
Which one?
Whatever one you played with the monsters and the horror people.
Dead by Dawn, I
Yeah,
think.
Daylight or something. Daylight or something.
Dawn of Deadlight, so some bullshit like that.
Did you
It's
ever?
fun.
Did you
I mean,
play
it
the
gets
killer?
old.
Did you play the?
I played as a killer. I played as Leatherface.
Did you play as a victim survivor?
That's the funnest part to play,
That's
because
what I was wondering.
the victim is a third person camera shot.
Gotcha.
The monster is a first person. So you can lose that motherfucker if you're good enough, because you can see around you, he can't. So you can make a quick. That's how people win.
Yeah.
Is they make quick moves on the kill. That's why I'm not the killer, because it makes me furious.
Yeah, I think one of the hard things about those kind of games is balancing that enough people want to play each role, as opposed to everybody.
That's
everybody
thing,
wants
right.
to be the predator.
Right, exactly. Well, and I think that's why those games don't work, because everybody wants to be
if
the
they don't
badass.
balance it right, everybody.
But with a property like Ghostbusters, you might see a different thing, because everybody wants to bust.
Well,
ghosts.
I'm always down for PvE. All is cooperative.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, let's see. Do we have a date on that? It may just be in the development stages at this point. I don't have a date yet, but we will keep our eye on this one. Keep it going. Yeah, there's no date yet. So I think it's going to happen soon, because I'm sure they want to get it going for whatever sequel they produce.
I was getting ready to ask, are they working on a sequel to the Ghostbusters?
I believe they are. Yeah.
Should be.
I would. Xbox has come up with a very interesting way.
I actually saw
Sonic
these
movie.
before you shared the link with me.
You saw these in the store?
No,
Oh.
they're like special. Like you got to like win a contest to get them.
Why would you want that shit? They're furry Xbox controllers.
They might
is
feel
what they
good
are.
on my hand. Not everybody gets sweaty palms playing.
I get sweaty fucking palms, and it would be terrible on my hands. I would not like it at all.
It'd be bad if you spilled some on.
Oh, God. Can you imagine my kids using them? I mean, they'd be done.
Oh,
They'd be done. There was
Shave
a
it.
picture, I think.
I've seen it.
Here.
I've seen it. But yeah, I think it's a contest you have to win.
It's
a special,
absolutely
like, Xbox,
ridiculous.
A special limited edition Sonic 2 movie themed Xbox. Or
Blue and red are the colors of the fur and the controllers. I'll pass.
Yeah,
Christian
Sonic
wants
versus
some,
Knuckles.
but I'll pass.
I'd want to hold them. I don't know if I'd want to play with them. I would like to hold one.
I want to hold them.
It's
Masters
so fluffy,
of the Universe.
dude. It's a
I
fluffy
don't want.
controller.
Nah. I'm good. Master of the Universe live action film. They keep talking about it. I'm getting tired of them fucking talking about it. They need to make
I couldn't
some
keep
progress.
up with the cartoon. They had that other new cartoon come out.
I didn't watch that one. That
it's
looked
like,
too
what's
kiddie
going
to
on?
me.
What's going
that
on?
looked way too kiddie to me.
I keep bringing it up.
I guess the directors of the live action film were asked about it, and they just kind of emphasized that it's going to be the He-Man from our childhood with the colorful characters. I got the sense
Are those
from the
new
interview.
figures right there, or are those?
Those are
old
the
ones?
those are the Revelation figures. That's like that one there I've got on my wall right there. That's He-Man
Ah, cool.
and Battle Cat below.
Who's the guy on the left there? Do you know?
That is Moss Man.
Looks like Swamp Thing.
He does. He's kind of like Swamp Thing. He's like a protector of everything that grows on Eternia. He's a lot like
so
Swampy.
He's exactly.
Pretty much.
He's the clone.
And I quote the what are their names again? The Knees, Aaron and Adam Nee, N-E-E. They are quoted as saying, "Yeah, we are doing the film and we plan on it being good. Well, no shit.
Double A knees.
There's some stuff we can't talk about, but it's all happening. It's all moving in the right direction. Blah blah blah. If that's what's happening, why am I not seeing more? Why am I not seeing more concept art? Why am I not seeing more casting? What is going on with this movie? It's not that hard.
I gotta know.
I have to know." But anyway, so we'll keep you updated on that one. Hurry up, Knees. Get your knees into it and hurry
Better
up.
have Dolph Lundgren do like a voice.
Dolph Lundgren?
Lundgren. And
So, fans of WandaVision were sad to learn that there is no second season. It was a one-off show.
it seemed like it, but I still
I
never
thought so
quite
too,
finished
yeah.
it.
I thought so too, but I don't know why people would expect a second season, because they're going to get everything in fucking Multiverse of Madness.
And even if they did, they can still do a second season of like Wanda and just call it
I
something
mean,
different.
dude, that's the thing about a Marvel property. You can spin that shit
Yeah.
to the moon.
Here's
so.
Wanda's magical series.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, that's come out from the Moon Knight director.
I'm not a fan of Vision in the MCU.
You don't like Vision?
Not in the MCU.
Yeah.
I like him in the comics, not in the MCU.
I thought he was good in Age of Ultron. I thought he kind of saved that one, honestly. And then he kind of fell by the wayside, and like they kind of just discarded him. He had like this huge role, and then he kind of fell back into the background. We've had some images come out from Guardians 3 with Nebula having some battle damage. So I guess she's going to get beat up.
Seems about right for Nebula.
She's always getting beat up, right? Plugged in.
That's
and
like that's my special power.
Yeah,
I can get hurt and break into pieces.
They work me like a machine, like an old car.
You can tell this is all I have left of my humanity.
So
whatever it is.
This poor woman, I can't imagine what she goes through to put all that fucking makeup on.
Karen Gilliam, I believe.
So yeah. For years, I thought the actress that played Nebula was the chick from She's All That. You remember her?
There was 2 girls in that one, I think.
Well, the ugly girl that's really hot that ends up becoming hot that was always hot.
Was that Alex Mack or Julia Stiles?
You are talking about 10 Things I Hate About You. You're talking about a completely different.
What movie were you talking about?
She's all that with Freddie Prinze Jr. and the girl with the glasses turned hot.
Yeah, there's only one person.
I guess
in
they
that.
do all blend together.
I was thinking of 10 Things I Hate About You.
I guess they do all blend together.
Oh, gosh, that's funny.
Anyway, Guardians 3, they are in production, and
I had no idea who she was until I saw on who she was in Jumanji, and then I saw that name in that one. I was like, hey, that's that same person.
Written and directed by James Gunn, Guardian returns the Guardians with newcomers Sylvester Stallone, Sean Gunn, Palm Clementieff. God, Jesus.
That's what's her name? Mantis.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Scheduled to be released May 5th, 2023, part of Phase 4. Did you see this, Christian?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Misha Collins, the famous Supernatural star who played Castiel on the show. Supernatural. I just said that. What the hell's wrong? I just said that.
He played the angel, Castiel.
He's been cast to play Harvey Two-Face in the Gotham Knights show on CW. Yay! So Misha's coming back. Some
people are a little worried about the CW, but he did well there.
Well, the thing about the CW is they can do the teenagers pretty good. Yeah. It's when they start trying to do the adults that I get nervous.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, he's good. He's good at playing the, multiple personalities.
Totally see him playing, and I think he'll have a lot of fun with that.
Well, remember how, all the different versions of Cass he's played.
Right.
And, he's been possessed, and, he's been, the person he was before the angel got in there when he was Jimmy.
Right.
So he's like, he might be
perfect
for Two-Face.
For sure. Did you check out this Alien board game that I sent you?
No, I haven't seen this one.
This is Tale of the Nostromo. It's a new Alien tabletop game.
That's cool.
Is about being on the Nostromo. Look, there's little pieces. There's
this one
Ripley. There's
this one board game called Nemesis that sounds like Alien inspired.
Nemesis?
Yeah, but it's expensive. It's
really?
$100, $200.
And of course the Xenomorph there in the background. I really wanted to see other parts of the game, but I guess they're keeping it tight-lipped. But anyway, that's on its way, and that'll be fun. Are you going to get that one for me so I can play it?
I don't know. Is it on Kickstarter? I just backed a Jurassic Park Legacy game on Kickstarter.
Did you? Oh, you can pre-order it at Targets for $30.
Oh, it's not bad at all.
So
you know what a Legacy board game is?
A Legacy?
Yeah.
No.
It's where each playthrough kind of adds to the game.
What do you mean?
You might get new rules or new resources. The game expands as you play. Sometimes you have to make decisions that'll unlock certain things and whatnot.
Okay. I got you.
They're a lot of fun, but you got to have a group of people to play multiple playthroughs.
I bet. For sure. But anyway, that's coming soon, so we'll wait to hear about that, and that will be the news.
Oh, there's that news.
Oh, I forgot about this. We have pictures
Yeah.
of Nicolas.
Can't just walk away without saying something about that picture popping up on your
I forgot
screen.
about it. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, dude! It's
People
like
magazine has released
it's like
photos.
Nosferatu hit Vegas or something.
Has released photos of Nicolas Cage as Dracula for the for the Reinfeld show on the set in New Orleans, and
I just see him like dancing right there. The way his hands are out in front of him, dude.
he looks. I mean, come on, dude. I'm sure it's going to be dark and it'll look better.
He looks like Grandpa from the Munsters.
He looks like that suit that Beetlejuice wears at the end of the movie. Tuxedo.
Oh gosh, he's got like the.
It's like a maroon type collar. So anyway, that is you can check those photos.
I like
out.
all the comments with
Along
all the
with
crazy
hilarious
Nicholas reactions.
hilarious comments and gifs that they've had for Nick Cage.
And he's got that new movie coming out with him playing himself.
That actually looks really good.
Well, I mean, it's insane.
I'm excited to see that.
It's-
Yeah, he's kind of making a comeback. All right.
It's like, yeah.
So that is the news of the week. Hey folks, it's Ryan Zip from the GeekZip podcast. I want to thank you for listening to us. You can find us on iTunes, and we also are on Facebook. We're working on a website, and we'll have it to you real soon. For questions, comments on how you could be a part of the GeekZip podcast, look us up on Facebook at facebook.com/GeekZip with 2 P's.
You're listening to the GeekZip podcast.
And welcome back to the GeekZip podcast. Ryan Zip, Christian, and we are talking in our main topic today about video game movies. Of course, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2 coming out. It comes out on April 8th, theaters everywhere, and we invited a very, very special guest on the cast this week. She is the executive producer, head of creative development and production for Pink Poodle Productions. She's head of IP strategy and acquisitions for Rainshine Entertainment, and she is a producer of the TV series Sonic Boom. Christian, you remember Sonic Boom?
Yeah.
Remember that one? The animated one?
It was a little after my.
It was a little after our time, but I mean, I definitely remember the marketing and stuff for it. I mean, I remember it was huge. Marlene Sharp is on the line. Marlene, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
We're good. We're so glad you could take time, and you've got so much going on. It's so nice of you to take some time out to come on and talk about everyone's favorite hedgehog.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Right. So, I mean, the first question I got to ask you, as a person who's kind of been with Sonic for so many years, what do you think is like the big appeal of Sonic? Do you think it's like Nintendo with Mario kind of thing? Like he represents? Is that? I mean, how do you feel about that character?
Well, it's just my opinion, but I think he's so lovable as a character and so relatable that his appeal goes way beyond gamers. And of course, with every year that goes by, the nostalgia factor builds. So as more and more generations become familiar with him, they become fans too. He's just so adorable and kind of like almost like a Hello Kitty type of character. I think he'd be famous even if he didn't have a game behind him.
That's
games.
A great point. He is a very marketable character, very colorful. I
think he's got that coolness too.
He's got the cool factor.
Yes. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool and adorable. So like that's lightning in a bottle right there.
Kind of like Pikachu, I guess, right? I mean, kind of like a character like Pikachu. It's kind of transcended its original environment. So, well, that's cool. Obviously, were you a Sonic game player when you were younger? Did you play the games and stuff?
A little bit, but not so much. I mean, I was familiar with it, and I had played the arcade versions maybe a couple of times, but I wasn't really very good at arcade games anyway. But I was really familiar with Sonic because before I worked for Sega, I worked for another company called RGH Entertainment, and we had heard through the show business grapevine that there was a new Sonic the Hedgehog series coming. This was when Sonic Boom was in development. And RGH wanted to come on board as a co-production partner. The leadership at RGH thought it would be a good investment for the company to come in and work with Sega to try to bring it to the small screen and eventually the big screen. So before I was a Sega employee, I was an RGH employee trying to find a logical way for us to come on board with the screen content. So that didn't exactly work out, but then I went to work for Sega, and that worked out.
So is that kind of how you got your foot in the door for Sega, was working through the RGH Entertainment before Sonic Boom? How did that come about?
Well, I was familiar with a few of the folks who were working on the early stages of Boom as a Sonic offshoot, but actually the way that I became employed at Sega was through a random contact on LinkedIn. A recruiter just contacted me because they were so at the time Sega of America was located in the Bay Area. Their offices had been up there for about 30 years, but it was getting to the point where it was too cost prohibitive to maintain offices up there, and so their plan was to scale back operations a lot and then move everything down to Burbank, California, where I am, because also the movie was going forward at that point. So the thinking was that, okay, we'll save money and we'll be closer to where the movie is being produced. And so unfortunately, a lot of people who were still working in the Bay Area lost their jobs. So they laid off about 100 people. And then only maybe 3 or 4 people came down from that crew up in the Bay Area, moved down to Burbank. And then we started an office in Burbank. So I was one of the 14 people hired to start up the Burbank office.
Wow.
But the recruiter was looking for people who had a background in boys action merchandise-driven properties that come from Japan. So,
nice.
That happens to be my specialty.
All right. Well, there you go.
So she just contacted me out of the blue. I didn't need to apply through any of those diabolical portals where your application goes into a big black hole. I know. It was a gift from heaven. So she contacted me. Although I will say I had a series of grueling interviews, probably 10 plus interviews.
Wow.
And then I was hired, and my title was producer, TV series. And so I was brought on board to help manage the second season of Sonic Boom. So they had already produced one season when I came in, but there were some things that management wanted to change, and plus the whole team that had been involved when they were up in the Bay Area was not there anymore. So we started over again with a much smaller team, and that's the one I was part of.
So, how did you, I'm sure that coming into a second season of a show that's kind of already established itself with that first season, how did you kind of get to know the Sonic character so that you could kind of, help the show be successful and move forward, especially with the movie coming out? Did you go grab games? Did you watch old cartoons? Did you do anything?
Well, we had, the answer is yes. And we had a secret weapon in our office, and his name is Aaron Weber. I don't know if you're familiar with Aaron, but Aaron was one of the one out of 4 folks who came down from the Bay Area, and he was the head of community for Sonic the Hedgehog. And Aaron is a Sonic and Sega phenom. He started working for Sega as a fan forum moderator when he was 14 years old, I think.
What's a fan forum moderator? What is that?
It's there's Sonic Stadium, for instance.
Oh, okay.
And he was engaged, and I say Sonic Stadium only as an example.
Sure.
But like those kinds of like destinations that are set up for fans to chat about the things that they love. But the
message boards and stuff.
Yeah, the message boards.
Oh,
exactly.
okay, I got you.
That's what it is. And so Sega had observed Aaron's posts on various fan forums, and he was always very insightful and smart and witty. And so at age 14, they engaged him to be the voice of Sega in these fan forums, like to really be like an advocate for the company. So he did it on a pro bono basis.
Wow.
But he had to answer to Sega. And then when he was 19, he was in college, and he asked the person or persons who had engaged him as the fan community moderator to guide him in his studies, because he wanted to work for Sega full time when he graduated. So he said, what classes should I be taking, and how could I better prepare for a full time career with Sega? And the response was, why don't you come work for Sega now? So he left college in Missouri, moved to the Bay Area at age 19, and became full-time with Sega. So when I met him, he was mid to late 20s. Yeah. And so he knew and still knows everything there is to know about Sega and Sonic. And so when we opened the Burbank office, there were most of the other execs and workers were in the same position as myself, where they were familiar with Sonic, but nowhere near the extent of Aaron's brain. So Aaron gave us Sega/Sonic classes. We had them once a week for a few months, and it was like a postgraduate degree in Sonic and Sega. And in the classes, we played through games. We learned the entire history of Sega versus Nintendo, and I mean everything. And then I was fortunate enough to sit next to Aaron for the first year that I was at Sega. So I mean, it was like we were at a dinner table, basically. That's how close we sat to each other. And so I observed him with his fan engagement, and just, I mean, he's a genius, and I 100% credit all of the reinvigoration of the franchise to Aaron.
Wow.
Because he's a fan whisperer, and he is genuinely a fan. He's a fan. He's more than a fan whisperer.
I'm going to have to do a show on fan whisperers, because I know a lot of fan whisperers that just love to stroke that fandom. I love it.
Well, that's cool how he was able to give you guys a crash course in Sonic that Sonic would probably approve
Right?
of.
I mean, talk about a class that I could actually get an A in. It's like, come on. We need to teach this in college.
And it was an intensive, like, as soon as we started. So we had a little bit of training in the Bay Area. And then when we all came back home to Burbank, that's when it continued on a weekly basis. But to be honest, it never really stopped, because the history of Sega is so massive.
Yeah,
it's a deep mythology.
Exactly. And then I just lucked out in getting to sit next to Aaron and just peek over his shoulder as he diffused sketchy situations with fans in various ways, and put copyright strikes on people. No, he actually he was very much against. He was very much against copyright strikes against people on YouTube. That was our business and legal affairs that really policed that, and he always took the side of the fans. So I give all the credit to him, and he's very much the unsung hero of the franchise, I think. A lot of people know who he is, but not to the extent that he should be known. Yeah. And P.S., he got a huge promotion at the end of 2020, and now he works at HQ in Japan.
Wow.
And he is driving strategy from the mothership.
Well, congratulations to Mr. Weber. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, he is.
Good
he
life
is
story.
Really,
yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, what a story.
You know, when we were working on the movie, I would always say, like, you know what? This really needs to be the Aaron Weber story. I mean, like, he is Sonic the Hedgehog. like that's the movie that I want to see.
How much input did like you and Sega with the movie in terms of like script and direction? I mean, did you guys have meetings with the filmmakers and kind of discuss your all's vision, or did you just kind of let them go with it?
That is an excellent question that has a long answer, but I will try to make
we'll take the short version. It's fine. Yeah.
Yes. Well, first of all, the movie was in development for a really long time.
Yes, we've read about
really
this.
long.
We talked about it once when
we
they
did talk about it.
Redesign
when they redesigned the character after the first tragedy.
But that wasn't even like the beginning of it. I mean, like, it was even in development with a whole different team, like years ago. The Marvel guy, Avi Arad, he went down that road, and that led to nowhere. And then Sega actually had an internal mandate that Sonic was not ever to be made into a movie. I mean, like that was such a soul crushing experience.
Wow, that's interesting.
So
how crazy.
So the origin story, this is a story that must be made into a movie at some point because it's quite compelling. But so Sega, after the Avi Arad thing happened, there was another group of phenoms, much along the same lines as Aaron, but working in the film industry, and their names are Dimitri Johnson, Dan Jevons, and Toby Asher.
I've heard of them.
And so they were like three young guys in Hollywood shooting the breeze one night, saying like, "Hey, what do you think would be the best video game movie?" Because they were determined to make video game movies a thing that worked.
It's quite a challenge, as we all know. So, which we're going to talk about.
So they are the ones who masterminded this whole plan to convince Sega of Japan to bring Sonic to the big screen, and they did have an ace up their sleeve in that Toby Asher worked for Neil Moritz, and Neil Moritz is the Fast and Furious guy. He's big time, huge producer of many things, but Fast and Furious is probably the most recognizable.
Sure.
So they were thinking like, oh, if we can get Neil Moritz into this, then we're home free. Like, of course, nobody's going to say no to Neil Moritz. So they convinced him, which was not an easy task. He was like, he did not know what Sonic was when they presented it to him, and he did not see the value initially, but he came around. But then they had to convince Sega Japan, which took many years after that. That was a tough nut.
I bet that was their baby, I'm sure.
But that was their baby. They would not give up. And so I'm not 100% aware of all the communication, or rather miscommunication, that happened before I came on board. It's a lot of anecdotes that I heard from Dimitri and Dan and Toby. But when they came on board, Sega and Original Film, which is Neil Moritz's company, were not really talking to each other. And part of that was there was that big upheaval at Sega in the Bay Area. So, like a lot of people had left, and then they downsized, and then people moved to Burbank. And then they were still trying to figure out how to become more involved in the creative of the movie. And Sega Japan was unsure how to do that. Anyway, so I didn't know the three guys who were, the driving force of the movie, and the communication had kind of broken down. And then a guardian angel came from the heavens, and his name is David Uslan, and his father is Michael Uslan, who is the Batman guy. He's responsible for every Batman movie that has ever been made. You can Google him and read his rich life history as the boy who loved Batman. So David is friends with Dimitri and Toby and Dan, and he's like, "Oh, surely you must know them if your new job at Sega." And I said, "No, I've never heard of them. I don't know who they are." And he's like, "Oh, well, you guys need to meet because you're all working together on the movie." And I was like, "We are? Okay." So he introduced us, and then we all started talking, and then we tried to mend fences where, communication had broken down. And then I introduced them to Aaron, because Aaron, being the fan whisperer, I figured that was pretty important for fan input to be a factor in the movie. And so then Aaron became more involved, and actually Aaron was largely responsible for the redesign of Sonic when that little hiccup happened with his scary teeth and fur.
It sounds like you guys had to get everybody on board and on the same page.
Thank God.
Yes. But it was a struggle. I mean, that the teeth and fur incident happened after I had left Sega, but I saw the struggle because there were a lot of cooks in that kitchen. I mean, just on the movie side, there was Neil Moritz, who's a force to be reckoned with. Then there's Tim Miller, whose animation company Blur was also involved in the movie, and Tim Miller's one of his mentees directed the movie. And so Tim Miller is an executive producer of all the films, and then there's Paramount, the studio, and then there's Sega of Japan, and then there's Sega of America, which operate in a lot of respects as two different companies.
Right.
So there are a lot of voices, and often the fan feedback gets lost in those kinds of discussions. And so Aaron was involved. It wasn't like once Aaron was involved in the movie, it was all smooth sailing. It was like it was great that it was certainly an improvement, but it wasn't like everybody bowed down to this 30-year-old kid.
right, exactly.
Knew more, who was the smartest person in the room, but looked like everybody's, kid brother. Or
sure.
So yeah, and so I have no doubt in my mind that Aaron and as well as Sonic Team, the keepers of the lore and the canon of Sonic, who reside in Japan. We had a couple of them in our office in Burbank, but there are others of Sonic Team that are in Japan, and I'm sure they had a lot to say about Sonic's design, and that wasn't heard. But then after the whole debacle online, I think people sat up and they obviously did. They took notice and fixed it.
Marlene, I gotta know, what did you think when you saw that first trailer with Sonic? Because let's face it, by that point, this is your baby too, right? I mean, you've been with this character for a while at this point through this process of trying to get this movie made. When you saw that character the first time, I've got to know your thoughts of what was going through your head.
Let's see. There's an expression. I will be completely honest with you, because I can tell that you are two gentlemen who can see through any funny business.
Oh yeah.
Any bullshit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So there is a phenomenon in Hollywood, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's called Schadenfreude, where you get joyful over other people's downfall. And I have to say, those and I couldn't help it. It just bubbled up.
Yeah.
Because I was no longer part of the process.
Oh, and my gosh, right? It was so relief. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I told you so.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Right.
And I was so, like, when it was fixed and when I saw the movie and also I got a little bit of intel from some of my not from Aaron is always very respectful of Sega and the company, and he minds his
I would hope so.
Confidentiality. Like, I've only talked to Aaron once since, or maybe a couple of times actually, since the movie came out, the first movie came out, and he never speaks out of turn.
Well, and he's in Japan too, right? So I'm sure, trying to get... I had some friends that lived in Beijing and stuff, and I know it's hard to get on a schedule where you can actually converse with them, so that too.
Right. But he's always, he minds the company rules and everything. However, there are others who do not. And those are the people I say, come sit by me.
Right.
And so I found out... So somebody that we had hired to do, we did a bunch of shorts called Sonic Mania Adventures to promote Sonic Mania, the game.
Sure.
It was a scrappy little project that we barely had any budget for, and I didn't even finish up with the project. I got another job and left Sega in the middle of that production, but we were working with a comic book artist who is very talented named Tyson Hess. And Tyson was the... he's known by fans because he's so good at designing all iterations of Sonic. And so we had hired him as the creative genius behind the Sonic Mania Adventures. And so I found out from some of my old colleagues that the movie team, this big, fancy, high-priced movie team, brought in Tyson, who worked on our scrappy little shorts, to fix everything. And they sent him to London to work with the big, fancy animators who were there,
right, and
to get them back on track and to fix the big teeth and the fur and the everything else that was wrong. But this is
so bad.
Like, we spent millions of dollars on this.
Oh, millions.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was, and Tyson, the only reason why Tyson was involved with our Sonic Mania Adventures in the first place is because he had a relationship with Aaron. Like, Aaron was so plugged into the comics and like every offshoot of Sonic.
Sure.
And Aaron had become friends with him. So Aaron brought him in to our process on creating these shorts. And so Aaron undoubtedly knew Tyson's the guy to fix this. And so they sent him to London and he fixed it. And so he had like some little acknowledgement on the film at the end, like I don't know what the credit was that he got.
Yeah.
But he's got a beefed up role for the second one.
That's good. I was getting ready to say they better have a thank you in number 2 too.
Yeah. I think he might have like some kind of supervisory position.
I mean, it sounds like there wouldn't have been a number 2 had it not been for this gentleman. So.
Look, to the fans out there, you can thank Aaron Weber and Tyson Hess for saving the entire franchise, and I am quite unapologetic about singing their praises because I saw it when I was there and then saw the evidence afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, when they re-released it, I was like, okay, finally, somebody who knows what they're doing has gotten into this process. So, so that's a little bit about the first one. Now we got the second one coming out. By the time this show airs, I think it's a week away. April 8th is when the Sonic 2 release. And I'll go ahead and tell you, we were kind of talking about the character earlier and Sega's protection of the character and stuff like that. When you get into a character like a Sonic or a Mario or a Link or, a Metal Gear, a Solid Snake, these are characters that I feel like I've grown up with, like in my home, like they were family members. And so yes, you are very protective of those properties, or as Christian would say, IPs, because he uses the proper terminology. Sorry, but no, it's a situation where you gotta please a general. It's almost like a comic book movie. It's almost exactly like a comic book movie. You have to please your diehard fans, but you also have to please the general public.
Well, with some of those characters too, like you said, growing up with them, like the older games, we kind of had to make up our own stories with them.
Right. Exactly right. So, I mean, I guess I've talked to a couple people who are a little bit younger than us. I talked to one gentleman who's about 25, I think. And he said that, he didn't like the Sonic movies. And I said, well, why? Because I have kids, right? And I mean, that matters. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, well, what's your idea of a Sonic movie? I mean, what? Go to Green Hill and just run straight? I mean, what's your idea of a Sonic? I mean, I think considering, trying to bring a character as iconic as Sonic to a real world situation, whatever that may be, is incredibly challenging, but you still have that generation that it just doesn't feel right with, and I'm just wondering, like, how you get around that, or do you? I mean, is that something that you can do anything about, or do you just say, we're going to make the best product we can and hope for the best?
Well, I think it helps to have somebody, like, it sounds like I'm Aaron's publicist, but to have somebody like
to
Aaron
have a fan,
on your team,
right?
To have a fan who has infiltrated
the
mothership,
has gotten on board, right?
I was happy for my friends who still work there because I knew that if anything went wrong, there would be blame trickling down to the lowest rungs of the ladder, and I didn't want any of my friends to get in trouble or any jobs to be lost or anything. So I was like, phew, crisis averted.
Right.
Yeah,
so now we got the second one coming out, and it's going to introduce Tails and Knuckles and all these characters. It's becoming like its own little universe. That's got to be exciting for you, having worked on the character for so long.
Oh, yeah. And another thing that's really exciting is that the character of Tails will be played by Colleen Shaughnessy, who does the voice of Tails in all the games. And she was the voice of Tails in Sonic Boom. She's been with the franchise for a long time.
I read about this. Yes. I've read her name. Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. So it's really gratifying to see that, because I understand the need to cast stars.
Sure.
Just to get stuff done.
Are we talking
Hollywood.
about Marsden and Carrie? Is that who we're talking?
Well, I think she's kind of talking about like the new Mario movie.
Idris Elba.
And the new voices in the Mario movie.
Right.
They're all fine people and actors and everything, but it's just that the actors who've been working on the games and the TV series and everything that we've done for the last, everything that the franchise has done for like the last 15 years, it's like this core group of actors. And it's sad. I have a background as an actor myself, not in the Sonic franchise, but I know that hurtful, soul-crushing disappointment of being recast, and
right.
And especially when you see something that you worked so hard on become a huge success, and other people just kind of breeze in the door and get all the credit.
Right.
It's sad.
Right,
so
right.
It was good to see that.
Well, and also you don't want the actors to overshadow the iconic characters that you're bringing to that screen. Totally get it.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I'm happy for any wins for the franchise, but that was really cool to see.
Absolutely. So, Marlene, we're going to get ready to wrap up with you. So what do you have going on right now with Pink Poodle and all that stuff? Now, I know that you did the review for your friend's book, who actually created Q*bert. That's crazy. You're going to have to hook me up with this guy. So I can talk to him.
Absolutely. Warren Davis. And speaking of actors, that's how I know him as an actor.
That's right. You told me there's a story, so I want to hear it. Go. Yes. I've been looking forward to this. Yes.
Yes. So Warren Davis and I knew each other through the Blank Theater Company in Los Angeles, and then we also played husband and wife in an iconic short film called Bad Jew. And anyway, iconic in our own minds.
I love the name, first of all.
Yeah, that pretty much tells you all you need to know. So Warren and I, when we were working together in the Blank Theater Company, somebody else in the cast mentioned something just like this off the cuff remark about like, oh, the video game that Warren created or something like that. And at the time, whoever this, I don't even remember the other cast member who said this, but they knew that I worked in this world of boys action merchandise driven entertainment and whatever, and as well as doing acting. And so they were like, oh, you know that game that Warren created. And I was like, no, I don't know, because I only knew Warren as an actor. And he's like, yeah, go ask him. It's not, I'm sure you would have heard of it, but he worked on some video game. And I was like, okay,
video game, I love that.
So he's like, so he was very modest about it. He's like, oh yeah, well, I worked on this game called Q*bert, and I was like, what? And then it was
how
I was
hysterical,
just floored. And so then so naturally we had lots of catching up to do.
I would think so, yeah. Because
he didn't know. I didn't really talk that much about my day job, so to speak, when I was doing acting stuff. And he was sort of retired from the video game industry at that point, so he didn't really either. And then so I had written an article about him back in 2012, around the time that I found out that he had this secret life as an iconic video game creator.
He's Batman, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote an article about him then, and then he wrote this book called Creating Q*bert. And something that I am into personally as well as for work now is podcasts. Case in point, here I am.
Here we are, right?
I also, the company that I work for, Rainshine Entertainment, we develop podcasts and as well as other things. But podcasts are something that they're on my radar for work and as well as for entertainment consumption. And so I wanted to talk to Warren about his book, because I acquire intellectual properties for Rainshine to adapt for the screen. And so I thought there might be some value in Warren's life story to do as a podcast, or anyway. So we had this meeting, and it's TBD to see as to whether Warren's book will be turned into a something else.
Wow.
I won't give
so you're
give
talking
away anything,
you're talking like a biopic, is that what we're talking about, or are we talking about a Q*bert movie?
Well,
more about the making of the game.
To be
right,
determined,
that's what I'm asking. Right?
I thought you meant like a Sonic movie, like Q*bert as a character.
By the way, it's Sony. It's a Sony owned character.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
But yeah, but anyway, so, and this is just in the talking stages. So this was like when he was just getting ready to publish the book was in the talking stages, and he told me about it and we had a conversation, and then the book was finally published this past January.
Awesome,
so like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And so then so I just asked him if I could review it, because that's something that I do. That's I write articles for fun and profit whenever I can. And so I was like, let me write a review of the book and put the fun facts about our acting background in there, and maybe you'll sell some books.
So interesting. Yeah.
That's what I did.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think he sold some books, so that's
I think it was such a great review, and you could certainly tell that you guys knew each other, and what a great story, Marlene. I mean, what a great person to have in your life, to meet somebody who made such an iconic character. Can you imagine? Christian,
I know.
Knowing the person that made Mario.
Yeah, it's just like,
I
created that. I invented that.
It is crazy. And when you interview him, because I know he would love to be on your show.
We'll talk. We're going to talk after.
He is the nicest, most down to earth gentleman. You would never, and when you read his book, stand back, because when you see all the games that he was part of, it's like your childhood.
Holy
stuffed
crap.
into this book.
I'm excited now. Yeah, okay, great. Awesome. We will certainly put a link to your review as well as the book on all our social media, so our listeners can have a listen to that. Marlene Sharp, you have been so great. Thank you for sitting with us through a couple technical difficulties that we had this morning.
Thank you so much.
Hey, that's
good
the
luck.
beauty of show business.
Yes, we keep rolling.
Live.
I mean, that's the way it is. Good luck with Pink Poodle Productions. I will certainly check in with you on the success of that, and we're going to talk about your Cubert friend here shortly as well.
Oh, yes, indeed. Okay.
Marlene, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
What a great interview. She's great, Christian.
Yeah, that was
She's
very
going to hook
nice.
me up with a Cubert guy.
She's delightful.
She was very delightful. Let's keep the conversation going. We're talking about video game movies. Let's talk about what makes a good video game movie. Give me some
I hate
examples.
that you act like there's a formula for something.
Is there?
I
not?
don't think there is at this point.
Huh.
If you go to
Can't do it?
Well, I don't know, because I was looking at the
What about
most.
Sonic?
I was looking at the most critically acclaimed video game movies.
Which are what?
I didn't look at the most.
Which ones are the critically
successful
acclaimed ones?
Number one was one that I didn't even think was based on a video game, but apparently it is. It's Werewolves Within.
Oh, really?
A
I didn't know
comedy
that.
horror movie. Yeah, apparently it's a video game, but it seems like it's one of those like party games, like Among Us, where somebody's secretly a werewolf or something.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure how much the movie is related to the game.
Gotcha.
But number two was Angry Birds. Number two, I think.
Number two was
And that's
Angry
another
Birds?
weird one. You're like, whoa, I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about that one either because it was a mobile game. Yeah. I'm talking about video. I'm talking about like console games.
They're all don't
Fuck
say
you.
that.
I'm about console games.
I played Angry Birds on PC.
Well, that was dumb.
Well, it's still a game.
Here's the money I owe you, by the way.
I'm not worried about
cigarettes. There you go.
I don't want cash. Send it to my Cash App. CashApp.com
fuck with that.
or something. I'm doing
what about Resident Evil? What about Mila Jovovich Resident Evil?
What's the formula for that?
I mean,
her plus the director doing whatever they want. Seems to work for them.
We've struck a sensitive chord with Christian.
Well,
here
I'm just
on
talking about video. I don't.
So you don't think we should make video game movies? Then?
No, I think we should. I think we just.
What's the formula?
I think the newer Resident Evil movie was better than the other one, but it wasn't as
successful.
successful.
You are one of the only fucking ones.
Well, I don't care. I don't care.
Because everybody else said it sucked.
Well, I still think it was a better video game.
I haven't seen it, so I can't.
I think there's a difference maybe between movie and video game movie.
Okay, what's that? What's the difference?
The video game movie should be true to the video game.
But how do you do that? Like if you want to make like Sonic, for example, it's the same argument this kid gave me that I was telling Marlene about.
Well, I don't.
It's like what does a Sonic movie look like that would appease video game fans?
Well, I think that one was fine.
But it wasn't like the game.
It had the stuff, most of the ingredients from the game.
So did Resident Evil.
No. What, the mansion and the zombies?
The mansion, the zombies, the dogs, the gun, the nemesis, the virus, the corporation, the town, the fucking... What do you want? I mean, what do you want?
I want the stars
You want the actual, like, setting from the game when you walk in the mansion of Resident Evil. That's what you're saying.
I want the stars units and the characters and the story
from
the game. They
have the stars units and the characters in the game. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you're mad about it.
No. I'm just saying. The Sonic one had the rings, it had the bad guy, and it had Sonic, and it had running around.
So explain to me the difference between that and Resident Evil.
Well, I think the only thing a Sonic movie needs is speed to be true to Sonic. How about that?
Okay, and the only thing Resident Evil needs is zombies.
I don't think so.
Which they've proven because the plots went out of their fucking brains on some of those Mila Jovovich movies.
Yeah, well, I think it's its own thing.
Maybe.
I mean, do you think the video games are like the movies?
The Resident Evil games?
Yeah. I mean, they did kind of go off the rails, but
they did. But
kind of got
if you
back on the rails.
But again, that comes back to the same argument. How do you do that? Is it possible to do that, to take a concept like Resident Evil and make it into a movie?
I would say the Resident Evil movies more resemble like Devil May Cry video games.
What do you mean? Like what do you mean?
Just crazy, stylish violence and off the wall, action.
Okay, that's interesting. What about Mortal Kombat? It's had some success, and again, it follows that kind of same thing we were talking about. It takes elements from the game, but it's not the game. It's not the game.
But what was your least favorite part about the new one?
The fact that there was no tournament.
I think it was the powers and that
powers?
that whole shit.
Oh, you mean like the new guy?
No, the little you have a symbol and you have to unlock your super
Oh,
powers.
yeah. That did suck. That was dumb. I didn't like that at all. You're right.
And that's not in the game.
No, it's definitely not.
It's like, that's what I mean. It's like, if you're gonna, it's like we said before, stay true to the roots when you're branching out.
Well, there's definitely been some failures for as far as video game movies that totally got it wrong and went a totally different direction.
Well, you know how Marlene was talking about
Yeah.
the voice actor for Tails
Yes.
being the same one.
Yes.
And, that's the opposite of the new Mario movie. Because people are like, why?
The one guy's not doing it?
No, it's Chris Pratt.
Really?
Have you not?
No,
looked at
I
the
have not
voices
heard
of the
this.
Mario movie?
No, I haven't heard.
Yeah, dude.
They actually released the voices that they're going to do?
You need to pull this up on the internet.
Well, I can't play it over the podcast. It's
Oh, no, I
copyright.
just meant look at the names on the list. That you don't hear
Oh,
the
they're
voices,
okay.
but just pull up the cast.
I'll
The
do
cast
that right
and who
now.
they're the voices of, dude.
Is it animated?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I hope so. Good Lord. We already had one live-action Super Mario Brothers.
Well, that was on my list of failure movies.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. That people are worried about this new one. Because wait till you see all the big names doing voices. And it's like how Marlene was saying, that's all fair.
Oh, my God.
That's all fair and good.
So we got it here. I'm going to read off some of these. Chris Pratt as Mario. Your girl, Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. You don't like her, do you?
No, you're right. But, if it's animated, I want to see her face. So.
Charlie Day as Luigi. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Jack Black as Bowser. And Keegan-Michael Key as Toad.
It's like, what is Chris Pratt going to do? It's me. How I talk as the Guardians of the Galaxy guy. It's Italian.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, that's not good news.
But it's kind of like what she was talking about, It's like,
yes.
It's like, why would you need a different voice?
Well,
for
I mean,
Mario?
and there's a reason why, the voice is what helps make that character successful, especially Mario.
Yeah,
of
like
all.
how you were talking about earlier, too, about the guys we grew up with and how they sounded.
Right, exactly, and how they looked. I mean, it's why it was hilarious about the damn.
Dude, that reminds me of this Nathan For You joke where he does a funeral home for pets, and he has a video of the pets to console the kids with a voiceover. Except it's like an Asian doing the voices with a big Asian accent or a big foreign accent, and the kids like start crying, going, "That's not how Fluffy sounded. That's not the way he talked."
That shit was funny. That guy is funny. I mean, and the fact that he puts himself in the most uncomfortable situations.
I got to show you this other one too that was on Reddit the other day. It was so funny.
Well, we can definitely look at it because we are out of time. We're going to wrap it up. I did watch the Halo series. We'll talk about that next week.
I got to get caught up.
Yeah,
and
Christian.
see a little bit of
I
it.
want Christian to watch it so we can kind of discuss
I heard
it
there's
back
some
and forth together.
Cortana.
There's some Cortana. There's some
Cortana. What's the word for drama? Cortana drama.
There's some Cortana drama. Yes, absolutely. Did see some Planet Reach. Spartans. I saw the Covenant. I saw what's the chick's name?
I hadn't played since Halo 2.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I was looking at the mythology one day because of that new Halo Infinite game or whatever, and it's like, holy smokes.
Oh, they exploded it after Halo 2, dude.
And it's like, I think a few times they've wiped it all out and just we're just rebooting with all this
that's
stuff.
what I was trying to, because I was watching it with my girl last night, and I was trying to explain to her. I'm like, well, this is not how it started. This is the expanded universe is what this is.
That's wild.
Which is the story. But anyway, we'll get into that next week. We're out of time. I want to thank Marlene Sharp so much for coming on board and talking with us. Again, you can find her online. Just search Pink Poodle Productions. She's on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. For Christian, this is Ryan for the GeekZip podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to the GeekZip podcast. Follow us on Facebook at GeekZip with 2 Ps.